Adam was always obsessed with taking selfies. He would snap a photo of himself every chance he got, documenting every moment of his life. His friends would always tease him, telling him he was addicted to his phone, but Adam didn't care. He loved being in the spotlight, and he loved capturing his handsomeness for the world to see. One day, Adam was out hiking alone in the woods. He had planned to take some scenic shots of the forest and the wildlife, but as he was walking, he stumbled across something that chilled him to the bone. It was a small cave, hidden away from the trail, and he could sense that there was something ominous inside. Despite his fear, Adam couldn't resist the urge to explore the cave. He pulled out his phone and started snapping selfies, smiling at the camera as he made his way deeper and deeper into the darkness. But the further he went, the more his fear grew. Suddenly, Adam heard a strange noise coming from deep within the cave. It sounded like a low growl, and it sent shivers down his spine. He tried to turn and run, but it was too late. Something had emerged from the shadows, something with glowing eyes and razor-sharp claws. Adam's last thought was to take one final selfie, a picture that would capture the horror of the moment for all time. As he raised his phone to take the shot, the creature lunged forward and attacked him, tearing him apart with its teeth and claws. Weeks later, when the search party found Adam's body, they were horrified to see the last selfie on his phone. It was a picture of the creature, its eyes glowing in the darkness, its mouth open in a snarl. And in the background, just visible in the dim light of the cave, was Adam, his face twisted in terror as the beast claimed its final victim. As the sun began to set on the last day of civilization, a young couple stood atop a tall building overlooking the city. They held each other tightly, tears streaming down their faces as they realized that this would be their last moments together on Earth. They had been taking selfies all day, capturing memories of the city they had grown up in, the places they had loved, and the people they had known. But now, as the world fell into chaos, they knew that this would be their last selfie on Earth. They positioned the camera, the cityscape behind them, and smiled through their tears. It was a bittersweet moment, knowing that this photo would be the only physical memory of their love, their city, and their world. As they snapped the photo, they felt the ground shake beneath them. The sound of explosions echoed through the air, and they knew that the end was near. They hugged each other tightly, trying to hold on to the moment, to each other, to everything they had ever known. The sun had almost set now, casting an orange glow across the city. They looked out at the skyline, knowing that it would soon be consumed by fire and smoke. They took a deep breath, trying to soak in the last moments of air before the world was destroyed. And then, just as quickly as it had begun, it was over. The ground beneath them crumbled, and they were consumed by the earth. Their last selfie on Earth was lost forever, buried deep beneath the ruins of civilization. But their love lived on, even in death. As the world fell into darkness, their souls rose together, soaring above the ashes of their former world, holding on to each other as they drifted into the unknown. In the far reaches of the galaxy, a group of explorers had just landed on an uninhabited planet. As they stepped out of their spacecraft, they marveled at the strange, otherworldly landscape around them. Everything seemed quiet and peaceful, and they eagerly began to explore. But soon, they realized that they were not alone on this planet. There were beings here that they had never seen before, creatures that seemed to be watching them from the shadows. At first, the explorers were curious, eager to make contact with these strange aliens. But as night fell and the explorers settled into their makeshift camp, they began to hear strange noises outside. Soft, shuffling sounds that seemed to be getting closer and closer. They tried to brush it off as their imaginations, but they knew deep down that something was out there, lurking in the darkness. Suddenly, one of the explorers let out a blood-curdling scream. The others rushed to his side, only to find that he had been attacked by one of the aliens. It was a terrifying sight, a creature with long, razor-sharp claws and glowing, yellow eyes. The explorers knew then that they were in grave danger. The aliens began to close in on them, creeping ever closer to their camp. The explorers scrambled to find weapons, but it was no use. The aliens were too powerful, too fast. One by one, the explorers were taken down, their bodies torn apart by the savage creatures. As the last explorer lay dying, he managed to snap one final photo with his camera. It was a selfie, the last selfie on Earth for the doomed crew. In the background, the creatures could be seen closing in, their glowing eyes shining in the darkness. The photo was never found, lost somewhere on the barren planet. But the legend of the explorers and the savage aliens lives on, a warning to all who dare to venture into the unknown depths of space. The two teenage brothers, Mark and Jason, were camping in the woods one summer night. They had heard rumors of strange occurrences in the area, but they didn't believe them. They laughed it off and set up camp, eager to spend the night in the great outdoors. As they settled in for the night, they noticed something odd in the sky. It was a bright, glowing object that seemed to be getting closer and closer. They thought it was just a shooting star, but as it got closer, they realized that it was something much more sinister. Suddenly, the object landed in the clearing just a few yards from their campsite. The brothers were frozen in fear as they saw a group of aliens emerge from the ship. The aliens were unlike anything they had ever seen before, with dark, scaly skin and long, sharp claws. The brothers tried to run, but it was too late. The aliens were too fast, too powerful. They were taken captive, bound and gagged, and dragged back to the spaceship. As they were being dragged away, Mark managed to snap a quick selfie with his phone. It was the last selfie on Earth for the brothers, a haunting reminder of their final moments. In the ship, the brothers were subjected to horrific experiments. The aliens probed and prodded them, dissecting their bodies and studying their every move. The brothers were trapped, alone in the dark, with no hope of escape. Days turned into weeks, and the brothers grew weak and sick. They knew that their time was running out. But then, in a moment of desperation, they managed to break free. They fought off the aliens and made a mad dash for the exit. As they fled the ship, they heard a loud explosion behind them. They turned to see the spaceship engulfed in flames, the aliens screaming in agony inside. The brothers stumbled out of the clearing, shaken and traumatized. They knew that they were lucky to be alive. But as they looked back at the burning wreckage of the spaceship, they knew that they would never forget the horrors that they had endured.